Hi guys, welcome to TFF TV, and today with me is Andrew Flint, Russian football journalist, and Jim Hart, all the way from America. Thank you guys. How you doing?
Good to be here. Good to be. A bit of a long range effort, this one.
Yeah, Jim, whereabouts are you right now?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, and I understand you've been up all night on the piss, so thanks very much for coming on.
It is
You mean
4:18 a.m. and I am drinking.
Hardcore, mate. Respect.
what you mean to say, Jim, is preparing professionally for a very, very professional podcast?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jim, just before we start, can you tell a few people who don't know you your background in football, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm a Chelsea fan, supporter, whatever you want to call it, and that pisses everyone off, which I like. I lived in London for a while in the 80s and became a Chelsea supporter that way, back when they were shit. Can I say shit on this podcast?
Say what you like.
All right, good.
Chelsea's the
And
best word anyway.
yeah, Chelsea's the worst word. Yeah, I get that. Tottenham, Manchester boys. And I am a partner at These Football Times. So Omar Salim and I are the partners at These Football Times. So we kind of run the joint. Omar is the gaffer, but I am, I guess, the mini gaffer, whatever you want to call me there at These Football Times. So I do a bit of writing from time to time, but I also run the podcast at it's called The Lob at These Football Times. So right now we're kind of in the middle of a big run of World Cup podcasts ourselves. So it's kind of fun actually to do something else, something different.
Yeah,
So
Jim,
thanks for having me on.
no worries, I love all this. If I could get into this full time, I would. But
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
I've got no,
thanks,
I've got
Rob.
no
I mean,
credentials.
no, I love this, man. I mean, this is so much fun, and you know, Rob, you and I have been, you know, chatting back and forth and talking football for years, and of course my mate Andrew and we've been, you know,
yeah,
good mates for many years and hanging out in London together, and
yeah.
Yeah, only the highest class establishments for us, Jim.
absolutely.
Jim, also you do some stuff in America. You're linked with youth football.
Well, yeah, I do some work with a club called Harpo's here in Colorado. So, you know, I'm here in Colorado, and Harpo's is the club I work with here, and they're an amateur club. They do a great deal for football here in Colorado. They are an amazing group of guys. Um, their biggest contribution is you know they try to compete in the Lamar Hunt Open Cup every year, which is kind of like the FA Cup here in the U.S. So it's open to amateur clubs, professional clubs, the MLS. You know, the MLS comes in obviously at a later, I think the fourth round or something. Yeah, it's a very big deal. And Lamar Hunt was this sort of visionary dude from, I think he was from Kansas City. I'm not sure, but um, you know, he started this thing years ago, and he wanted to, you know, be a benefactor for football here in the U.S. And so he started this tournament, and it's grown and grown over the years, and you know, the people that you know, if you win the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, then you get a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League. And so it really is something to play for. I mean, it's not just, you know,
Yeah.
a cup to win, right? There's something in it for you.
Jim, aside from that, you also have links with Icelandic football, Icelandic FA. And
I do. I
it's
do.
fair to say you know quite a lot of footballing people in the footballing fraternity.
Yep, that's true.
You've got some
I've been
serious
spent
contacts.
Yeah, I've been spending some time in Iceland over the last 5 years, and I've developed some contacts within the FA there. Arner Bill Gunnarsson, who's the technical director, you know, I consider him a good friend. Hamer Hallgrimsson, who is the head coach of the national team. Um, Willem Tortorsen, who I've interviewed on several occasions, is a really great guy. Willem is just this wonderful man who has been a visionary in Iceland and has developed football there for the last 30 years. He played on the national team. He was the first coach of the Icelandic futsal team. He's just been a visionary for Iceland over the years. And he's now the head coach of KR, which is one of the biggest clubs in Iceland. But, he was a senator in Iceland. He ran for public office and won a seat.
Jim,
He's...
mentioned, futsal.
Yeah.
I've played futsal. Now, are we talking about the game with the heavier balls?
Yeah, the one that's played basically on a basketball court.
Yeah, just to let people know. So it's like small-sided games. The balls are heavy,
Yeah.
and you can't basically dribble around people. It's basically get the ball, pass and move. It's very quick one-touch football.
That's correct.
And it's very challenging. It's very difficult. And I played it in my 20s, and I was useless at first, but it really helps. It helps your game.
It's a fantastic sport.
It develops your speed of thought, your reactions, and you start thinking with your brain and using the ball much quicker, moving it on much quicker.
The Brazilians love that game.
That's right, yeah.
They really developed that game to develop the one-on-one stuff, right? The face-up game, the challenge game, right? So futsal is brilliant for taking a man on, right? So, which is really what Brazilian football is all about. I don't know if you've ever watched much Brazilian football, but it's all about taking a man on. There is no open space in Brazilian football.
Brazil is epitomised everything that's good about football. Definitely when I was growing up and watching videos from the 50s, 60s, and then seeing them close up in the 80s, 90s, Brazil have given so much. Anyway, lads, let's crack on to Group C, and then Group D I think we'll cover more because of your links with Iceland. So
sure.
Okay, who we got in Group C? Who's done their homework?
We've got Peru, Australia, France, and Denmark, I believe.
Well, France are one of my favourites to win the whole thing.
I second that, Rob, as well, actually.
After that, I think we're looking at. I couldn't call it between Australia, Denmark, or even Peru. I don't know. So I'm going to let you two decide.
Well, you know what, Rob, we spoke about this on one of the previous episodes. I actually do genuinely tip France, and normally I would never do this because, in a slightly lazy way, I view them in the same bracket as I do Arsenal in the English Premier League. Slightly lacking that bite, that street fighting, gut-wrenching will to win. But I just think they have so much ridiculous talent that it almost doesn't matter at this rate. So, you mentioned it there. France are the standout favourites by some distance. I watched them in Russia a few weeks ago, back in March, and Kylian Mbappe. It's not rocket science. Everybody knows about the guy now. I'm not saying that I've discovered a secret, but he was even better than what I'd seen on TV. He was just an absolute monster. So, even if there is some sort of a breakdown in character, breakdown in relationship with, the fans, the coach, whatever it is, I think France are still so far ahead that they will be a very strong team in this tournament. Of the others, I agree with you. It's very, very hard to call. But if I had to stick my neck out, I think I'd say Denmark should really be looking to be runners-up in that one. They've got match winners like Christian Eriksen and well, I won't quite say Nicholas Bentner is a match winner, but they have that lad. Well, you never know, a big target man. Actually, tell me seriously, we laugh about it, but in a World Cup, sometimes if you throw a big man up front, it's not a league campaign. It's not like a brand of football has to be maintained 90 minutes of every game. People may laugh. Nicholas Bentner may well prove to be an option for them. Who knows?